What's up? So ladies and gentlemen, today I thought we would take a deep dive back into the history of Fortnite Battle Royale. Today we're going to be looking at November, October, and even the OG bare bones version of Fortnite that was September 2017. And in this video, we're going to be looking at 10 things that only original Fortnite players will remember. I feel like those really old memes that are like, only 90s kids will remember, when realistically, we're only talking about something that was like 6 months ago. But there have honestly just been so many ridiculous changes to Fortnite since September, and I thought that this would be an interesting video. Interesting for the new players who have never seen this stuff, and even more interesting for you guys that I know have been playing Fortnite for a long time. While I was making this list, there were so many things I was like, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button, and let's do it. So coming in at our number 10 spot, we're throwing it back to September. This is Fortnite game modes. I didn't start playing Fortnite till about October 15th, so I don't have any personal experience with this, but back in the day, the OG days of Fortnite, there was no duos or squads. Literally, there was just Fortnite, and Fortnite was just this completely bare bones game where you had no skins, very few weapons, and you just hit play and you got dropped in with 99 other random people. There was no lobby, there was no friends matchmaking thing. You literally just hopped on and killed people. Now, this was actually the original Battle Royale, so it was the very, very first version of it. And honestly, it was actually quite an issue. The problem with it was that since you couldn't play with other people and there was very few people playing online, it was relatively easy to get into a game mode with a friend. You could then land at the same place and basically just duo or squad it out with very little repercussions. The issue was that there really wasn't a lot of support for this game because Epic just wasn't putting a ton of resources into Battle Royale yet, and because of that, it was fairly easy to get away with teaming. There wasn't even actually a report button at this time, so very, very easy. Number 9, the pump shotgun used to be common. No, I'm kidding. So while about 99.9% of people remember a week ago when there was a common pump, the pump has changed a lot. So the most recent change was we went from white and green to green and blue pumps. Before that, we got a huge nerf on the double pump, obviously, but there was an original pump that was completely different from how you guys probably know it today. There is this iconic clip of Grims, the Fortnite streamer, and he's in Loot Lake on the other side of it, sniping someone with a pump. He is probably 40 meters away from this guy, landing 24, 30, 48 damage on this dude. And this is actually what the original pump was like. It was an absolute sniper. Like, if you think that the new heavy shotgun is long range, like, you have no idea. The OG pump was twice as long as this thing. This was even before the double pump was a major thing, so people would just use one pump from really far out and just land ridiculous shots. It got patched sometime around in October, and then we just had to deal with the double pump for another 3 months. It was, really, really hard to use the double pump after that. I'm joking, the double pump only became more OP. Moving down to our number 8 spot, a little bit of a small detail, but one of the stupidest things that was ever a feature in Fortnite. So nowadays, if you knock a player in duos or squads, you get that kill unless that person gets revived. What I'm saying is, if you knock a person and then your teammate finishes them off, you still get the kill. That only makes sense. Well, back in the day of Fortnite, I don't know why this was ever a feature, but in the original duos and squads, what would happen is that you would down someone, you actually had to finish them off to get credit for the kill. I don't know what Epic Games was thinking with this feature, but just absolutely foolish. You could not knock a single person in a game and finish a win with like 10 kills. Number 7, traps. So this is something that I think a lot of people forget, but probably more people remember, is that there used to be 3 traps in Fortnite. So originally we had 3 different kinds of traps for 3 different surfaces. You have your spike trap, which you have now, which could only be placed on the floor. You had the wall dynamo, which was like a fire trap, and this was placed on I just forgot. Walls. I literally just forgot what walls are, but the wall dynamo, the fire trap, was placed on walls. And then lastly, we had the zapper trap, which was an electrical trap, probably the most popular at the time, and this was placed on ceilings. Fortnite then removed the zapper and the wall dynamo and just made it so that you could put spike traps on any surface. This was a step in the right direction because the problem with the zapper was it made a really loud electric noise when you got close to it. Imagine if a spike trap just emitted this really like high-pitched electric noise. You'd never go into that building and no one would ever get killed by anything. And even the wall dynamo was not particularly good, but these were like the OG traps and something that a lot of people forget. Now moving down to our number 6 spot, this is another thing that I think more people will remember, but you may have forgot about the times when Tilted Tower was not the place that everybody landed. Back in the days of Season 1 and even part of Season 2, Pleasant Park and Retail Row were your bread and butter. If you were a hardcore player, you were going to Retail or Pleasant, or that was it. Actually, Salty was also up there, and Salty still is up there. Really, all three of these places still are up there. But imagine Pleasant Park, but the amount of people that go to Tilted Towers. That's what this used to be like. The thing is now, you can get a really favorable Retail or Pleasant or even Salty bus route, but it's still going to not have everyone go there because Tilted is just so attractive. Back in the day though, Retail and Pleasant were the Tilted Towers. And on top of that, like, does anybody remember when Greasy Grove was good? Greasy Grove used to be one of the most hype spots in Fortnite, and it has just completely been devastated. Number 5, auto pickup. So this is something that I think a lot of players just take for granted now, and you probably remembered this if you played in Season 1 or even beyond that. But you used to have to pick up anything you wanted. So obviously you still have to pick up guns because it's your choice to pick them up, but there's obviously no reason you wouldn't want to pick up a trap or materials or ammo. Back in the day, if you wanted to pick up any materials or any ammo, you actually had to manually press square or F or whatever to actually physically and again, manually pick it up. There was a working around this, is what people would do is they'd switch to their pickaxe when they wanted to pick stuff up, and because you can't actually pick up an item, they'd just spam the pickup button and then they'd only get materials and ammo. Kind of a subtle thing, but it's just weird to think that that's how Fortnite used to work. Number 4, and this is something that no OG watching this video is going to remember, but it's a pretty big one. The Zap Tron Sniper. So I have a full video if you want to watch the details on it, but let me give you a summary. There was a gun in Fortnite that at any range, at any part of the body, did 150 damage. Oh, and it was a laser gun. And that's not a metaphor. It was literally a zap rifle laser, like just something that was super sci-fi and not meant for Battle Royale. It's a weapon in PvE that's actually pretty trash, but in Battle Royale, it was not trash. This weapon was only put in Fortnite for 1 day, and Epic Games quickly saw like this just doesn't fit in Battle Royale, but it was pretty cool. On top of that, it even had its own ammo. And if that's something that does interest you at all, I recommend you watch this old video that I made because it really is like kind of a cool little Easter egg that I feel like a lot of people don't actually know about. It's also the only good weapon that was ever removed from Fortnite. Number 3, and this is one that just, it makes me laugh, Directional Pads. I gotta be honest, we are just so privileged in 2018 to live in a world that has jump pads. Jump pads are one of my favorite things that were ever added into this game. And before that, we had something that wasn't quite as good. No, back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, we had directional pads. So if I had to explain directional pads, I would basically say what it is it is an impulse grenade that you set on the ground and it's just permanently there like a launch pad would be. Instead of making you bounce up into the air and you parachute down, it basically just sends you the direction that you choose to jump onto it to. And it doesn't send you like a launch pad would send you. No, it sends you more so like a not very good impulse grenade. Because the problem was it wouldn't even send you up, it would just send you out. So it really didn't work that well. it was very clunky in design, and it kind of reminds me of the traps that were removed and kind of improved upon, but it really was just a very weird thing in Fortnite. Number 2, Stackable Shields. So nowadays you can stack 2 regular full-sized shield potions. Back in the days of September, for some reason, Epic Games thought that it would be, you know, just not OP, that's for sure, to carry 5 in one stack. You could carry 250 HP of shield potions, again, in one stack. And you're probably thinking, you know, that's not that OP. I mean, how many shields do you really find in a game? You can carry 10 mini shields in a game, and that's the same amount of health that you can restore with 5 big shields. But the problem is, and I hate to be plugging my videos, but I made a video that basically went in depth on how back in the day, that was the only type of shield that existed. In a nutshell, basically how it used to work is the only shield boosting item was a shield. So if we just had like a meter for shields, 100% of what you could get is a shield. Now it's kind of split up into like mini shields and normal shields and chug jugs and slurps. So it's more OP. But back in the day, you could only find this. So you could be chilling at 75 health, no bandages, and then there's this camper that has just been in a bush the entire game with 200 health and 5 shields and 3 medkits and full weapons. It was extremely unbalanced, and Epic Games did a really good job. They patched this before the end of September, but man, whoo, it was whoo. Just another quote to really bump up my intelligence there. It was woo. Anyways though, ladies and gentlemen, we got our number 1 spot. So coming in at our number 1 spot, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have the most iconic feature of OG 2017 Fortnite. Saw it on this thumbnail, you're all waiting for it. It's the pumpkin launcher. I don't think there is a more iconic noise to Fortnite than wah. OG Fortnite players cringe at that noise. Because for anyone that doesn't remember this, the original seasonal weapon was the pumpkin launcher. So we used to have the snowball launcher, and now it's the mini ag launcher, but back in the day, it wasn't the grenade launcher that got skins, it was the rocket launcher. A lot of people know this, but you know, it was just something to me that it's just so iconic of like OG Fortnite. The noise that this thing made was just something. It's not a very scary noise, but you'd be hard pressed to find a player that doesn't. Whoa! Why am I not making words today? You would be hard pressed to find any player that does not get at least a little bit of a chill when they hear that thing. It was a classic, and although I hope they don't bring back like the skins of Halloween, this is something I would love to see again next October. The pumpkin rocket launcher was the pumpkin rocket launcher. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our video for the day. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, again, it would be awesome if you could subscribe. We are finally on that grind to 2 million. We're 1.9. So we're getting there. Other than that, let me know what you liked on this list. Let me know what you thought of the video. And I'll see you later. Peace. Actually, I like this video idea. It's really cool to just like go back and be like, damn. Wow, okay.